Alright, so today we are going to do a lighting test on the Light Show brand by Home Depot. Home Depot released these this year for Halloween. They have a whole line that comes out during Christmas, including a big, giant Showbox controller, which I actually have. I bought at the end of last Christmas. I'll show you guys that sometime soon. But I want to go ahead and test out the new lights that I got the other day from Home Depot. First on the left is the projection light, which is a red and yellow fire and ice light. It turns and swirls and gives the effect of fire on your haunted house or props or walls or whatever you want to do. One in the middle is a rusty attic light. This one is AC powered, so it'll plug right into any extension cord you got, and it hangs freely. So this one has a more genuine look than the one on the right. The one on the right is another short circuit light, but this one goes into any kind of lamp or light socket that you have that you may have, either a clamp light or whatever. The one on the right does look a little bit more fake. The one in the middle is genuine. It's a lot larger, but the one on the right looks okay. What I'm going to do with that one is what I've done with other light bulbs, is take some black motor spray paint, so the one that's high heat tolerable. You want that one, and then you just spray through a piece of like screen door mesh, and that'll lightly dust the light to give it a little more aged look, and it's not dangerous at all because it can withstand the high heat. So let's go ahead and pull these out one by one. I'm going to set them up on this wall. This is my brick wall. I'll turn off the LEDs in the back, and we'll test the lights out right here. Okay, so right away I'll show you the light. This is the fire and ice light. This is what it looks like. Has a nice bracket right here. Has a hole. I would preferably like to screw directly into this and put it on whatever I'm mounting it on. Or, you know, it also has a Phillips right here, so you can take that off easily, screw the bracket on, then screw the light back on. So that will easily screw on. Or it has a stand. So here's the stand right here. And it's just, you know, just a nice little plastic stand with the screw hole to go into the ground to hold up your light. If you're going to put it in dirt or anything, I probably will just screw it right in just for more stability and where I want it to go. So here it is. So I'm going to go ahead and power it on, reset up everything, and then show you guys the test. Alright, that looks pretty good, guys. That is the fire and ice light on just a piece of styrofoam, part of my castle facade for my haunted house. That's what it looks like. So that's just a small piece. Looks really, really good. It covers actually a wide, very wide area. So I'm going to go ahead and, the camera's on a tripod right now, but I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how much area it covers in my garage. See, that's on my ceiling. Goes over to the right a few feet. I mean, it probably goes about, I'd say, and I have it pretty close to the garage actually right now. So you see it's about 2.5 feet away from my garage where I have my little set piece up on the wall. So it's not very far out, and it's spreading very far. So, and it looks really good. I'm actually pleased with the colors, pleased with the look. Looks very good. I'm sure if you know, put some white plastic on your front window and put a fan there and let it wave, and you let this light go on there, you're gonna get a nice fire effect. Probably look a lot like Pirates of the Caribbean. So very good, very nice. Just to show you the light, the plastic itself doesn't move, the light inside does. So you can see the plastic is not going anywhere, but there's a light inside that does spin, and that's what gives you that effect. There's the effect on the ground right in front. I have it on a little stand right there, a little metal stand to weight it down. So that actually works very well, but there we go. There is the fire and ice light, guys. Looks really, really good. Very pleased with the outcome of this light. Okay, and here is the rusty attic light. So you can see how it stands like that. Looks pretty cool. It's all plastic. Everything is plastic in there with LEDs right inside. So you can see the LEDs kind of in there, right there. So there's a good shot of them. And a 2-prong power cable with a gigantic warning label. So I guess they really want you to read this warning label. I don't see an on-off switch on here, and there is an extra fuse in here, kind of like a Christmas light. So there is the rusty attic light, and oh look at it, it's got a gigantic nipple. Alright, we're going to test this in a second. Okay guys, here is the rusty attic light, and this is what I don't like about it. See that? It's programmed, and there is an on-off switch that I found right on the side. It's very small. But this is what it does. It programs to the same sequence, and then it'll go black for 2 seconds, and then it comes back on in the same frequency. So the only problem with that is right now, if I'm trying to use this as one of my main lights in a room, you're gonna have complete darkness for a little bit. So it's pretty dull. I mean, you can see it's not very bright, but I mean it gives you exactly what you want for as far as the flickering light, the amount of brightness. So you will have to use a secondary light. If this was more consistent and it didn't have this blackout period, I would be much more happier, because I do, if I was going to use 2 of these in, say, a hallway, and as you're walking through the castle, I would need these to be constantly on, providing some kind of light for the guests walking through. So that is the only thing I don't like about it, is that it has that little 2-second blackout. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, maybe it's 5 seconds. Anyways, that's pretty long. That's pretty long for it to be dark in a room when you're walking through a haunt. So yeah, that's the only thing. I think it'll be okay. You just gotta have a couple of these lights in any given room at a time. It looks like, just because of the blackout period, and you gotta kind of time them so that way not all of them are black at the same time, or else you're kind of screwed. So, all right, but it looks good, guys. It looks really good. I do like it. It's got the little faux chain, so that looks cool. But I like it. I'm pleased with it. Just wish it didn't have the blackout period. Okay, and last but not least, here is the light bulb version of the Rusty Attic light. So this will come off. This is just a warning label thing, and the plastic is actually much darker than I thought. I mean, it almost looks purple. It really does. So we'll see what it looks like once it's turned on. And there's a on-off switch right here, so that's actually cool. They built that in there. Just go over pricing. This was $9.98. The Rusty Attic light was $9.98, and the Fire and Ice light was $19.99, so it's much cheaper than Spirit. So try to get them at Home Depot if you can, guys. All right, time to test this one. All right, so here is the other standard light bulb, and I figured out what the switch is for. The switch is actually not an on-off switch. It is actually a standalone light or a flicker switch. So that's actually a pretty cool feature to have on it. You see I got it in a clamp light right now, and it is super bright. It is much, much, much brighter than the other Rusty Attic light. So it is giving a ton of light here. I'll raise it up, and you can see the light that it gives my wall. It just brightens it up. Let me go ahead and switch it to the other one. Let's see. All right, and then you get a much cooler flicker effect. This is actually a lot better, and I think it'll look cool once you spray it through some screen mesh. Okay, there's a blackout again. Oh, God, I wish it didn't have a blackout that long. And here it goes again. So it starts out solid, and then it starts to flicker, so that's pretty cool. This one is actually much more effective than the other light. I do actually like this one a lot better. I think just because it gives off a little bit more light, and I like the strobing period. It's a lot faster, a little bit creepier, but this is just super bright. This is hecka bright, guys. Oh my gosh. But it gives a better flicker. It really does give a better flicker, to be honest with you. All right, I'm going to go paint this light really fast and see how that looks. Okay, I put my camera light on. You can see the dusting. I did a little bit thicker on bottom just so it doesn't shine directly on the ground. But you can see how the dusting works on the light itself when you go through some screen door mesh. This is what I use on my lanterns and all that stuff. It just comes out very, very faint, spread out nicely, and gives a nice texture. So let's go ahead and see how this looks right now. This is the first test. We're going to see this together for the first time. Okay, it's still pretty bright. I mean, I guess I could darken it a little bit more, but yeah, it's still really bright, so I could do a little bit more paint on it, actually a lot more paint. It's still giving off a lot of light, so I think it'll look good if I paint it a little bit more. Yeah, look at that. It's really bright still on everything. Okay, I painted the light a little bit more. You can see the black on it now a little bit better. It's still kind of bright, but you can see when it dims how much more paint I got on it. So I could go even more if I wanted, but I'm going to leave it there for now until I actually put it in the haunt and see which area I'm going to use it in. But it's a lot dimmer now. It's a lot dimmer now. It's still bright, but it's much less than when I originally started. So, and as I just keep going along, and wherever I stick it in the haunt, I can either paint a little bit more to dim it down or leave it as is. But I don't want to go too much yet until I get it into the spot in the haunt. So, all right, so there is that third and final light that I'm going to test today. They have other lights, but I'm just doing a test on these 3 right now because that's all I really wanted to get there. I did want to get the ghost projection light, but they were out of that one, so if I can find that one, I'm going to go ahead and get that and give that a test out as well.